Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a trick to get your bass lines to cut through your mix. It doesn't really matter if you're using a synth bass that you've created, like I'm using one that I created with FM8, which is frequency modulation to create my bass, or if you're just using a recorded bass line. As long as you have high frequency content, you'll be able to hear your bass. Now, if you want to check that, you can use a frequency spectrum analyzer. There's free versions and there's ones that you pay for, but you might as well just get a free one, like the one I have right here. So when you play your bass line, you'll be able to see it show up here. As you can see above 470 Hertz, there's some content up there. That's good. That's what you want. You want something up there. Now what you're going to want to do is take your bass line and you're going to duplicate the track. So you have two copies of it. One is going to be the high bass, one you're going to be the low bass. You're going to go in to your EQ, and everything below 200 Hertz, you might have to use your ear for this. Like I put 200 Hertz for this one, but sometimes I use 400 Hertz or it could be 500 Hertz. It really depends on your specific bass line. You want to make sure that you can hear something in your high bass line track. But for this specific song, I cut anything below 200 Hertz for the high bass track. And then for the low bass track, I cut anything above 200 Hertz. Usually all EQ has a built-in high pass or low pass filter to do this. If not, you can just make one yourself. It's pretty easy. Now after you do that, I always pan the high bass to the left and the right, and then the low frequency content on the low bass pan to the center, because you don't really want your bass panned out too far, because if you do that, it'll destabilize your mix. And that is really all you need to do. But let me just show you what it sounds like when I'm just using the bass track before I separate it out. So this is the bass track before the treatment. All right, and I'm going to go back in, turn the filter back on. And pan that back out because I panned it just for the listening experience. Okay, now this is what it sounds like with the full treatment. As you can tell, the bass sounds a lot more present, and you don't have to turn the bass up as loud to get it to be heard, which saves you a lot of frequency space for other sounds. That's something I didn't mention, actually. I turn the high bass up higher than the low bass. So the low bass is turned up a little bit, and then the high bass is turned up even more, because you can turn these high frequencies up, and they won't take up as much space as the lower frequencies. That's the great thing about splitting your bass tracks into low frequency and high frequency, and having a high pass and low pass filter to separate out those frequencies. Like it makes your bass stand out a lot more present, and it sounds a lot better. Go ahead and give that a try and let me know how it turns out for you. Have a great day.
Heart thumping, blood pumping, sweat running, I'm a victim of your love now.